Hi everyone, welcome to Megan Sullivan Art, here to present to you my design team project for Lavender Blue Art and Lavender Blue Shop on Etsy. For this one I've decided to make an art journal using her Nouveau Ladies digital kit, and I printed it onto glossy photo paper because the paper I was using for some of the inside pages was actually a glossy laser paper, which I have dyed, so I can talk you through that. It's a repurposed book cover, which just happened to be the perfect size for what I wanted. I didn't have to do anything to the spine apart from just reinforce it to make it sturdy. It measures 21.5 centimetres by 28 centimetres, so it's just a little bit smaller than A3. And I used transparent gesso on the cover. Then I mixed up this reddish burgundy kind of fabric paint. Then I mixed up a paler pink colour, and then I also went over with a paintbrush and some gold spray paint. It's got a 6 centimetre spine, and I have sewn the signatures into the spine, but then I have covered over that stitching with this burlap and fabric trim, which I have sewn around with zigzag to make sure that it's not going to fray, and I've also inked the white to make it look more pinky rather than white. And there's the back cover, so you can see the gold flecks of spray paint. So it's actually given it a nice distressed kind of look, and then the metal corners just reinforce the corners to protect them. So it's got 4 signatures, getting up a bit close there, and 192 pages, so it's a beast. So definitely an art journal, but there is still lots of space for writing because I have actually got dyed papers in here as well. The sorts of papers that are in here are we have a Canson canvas paper, which is 290 GSM, so very thick. We have tracing paper. We have just a drawing artist pad, which is only 100 GSM. And then we also have some Jackson Perth watercolour paper, and that is for gouache, pencil, pastel, watercolour, and that one is 190 GSM as well. So lots of art-based papers as well as different types of dyed papers. So I've had this lovely vintage piece of fabric here, which I just zigzagged on the machine and ruched it up underneath, and then I've glued it down to give it this kind of frou-frou look. I've got some little flat back pearls here that I've just added to this image, which is from the kit, which I've sewn all around and backed onto avocado dyed paper. And all the stitching in here is mainly hot pink. Yeah, and that's all been glued down, so that's nice and sturdy. So hopefully we can get it, yeah, we can get it all in. So these printed pages from the kit are on glossy paper, so you just have to excuse that kind of sheen. So what I did was I printed all the pages pretty much to full A4 size that I could, and then I have stitched them all onto the actual dyed paper, which is the glossy laser printer paper, which I've dyed with avocado dye. On the inside we've got it lined with a scrapbook paper, which has a metallic element to it. More scrapbook paper to form 2 pockets, so we've got a pocket here, and then we've got a pocket in the back. And this is some offcuts of the wallpaper that I used to reinforce underneath for the spine. This is some upholstery fabric, which you would have seen in my other Charming Fragments #1 journal for the cover. That's the liner, so I've stitched around that. And then underneath that there is the wallpaper, and then underneath that there is the white fabric that I used to cover this book in initially. So it's got lots of reinforcing, and it does lay quite flat. Okay, so the first image there, which is just absolutely gorgeous. So some of them some of the tags I actually printed out larger. Some pages I printed out smaller because I wanted to turn them into tuck spots or different things. So what I have here is a photo pocket from a photo album. So it gives you a bit of room for journaling here, both sides. So room for 2 photos, and I've just included some washi tapes as well for the owner of this journal to use. And on the pink, excuse me, these Love Heart paper clips are very cute. because there is a lot of love references and hearts and things on this actual digital kit. And a lot of these pages where I haven't stitched or there aren't pockets, I have done some stenciling, so you'll see that coming up. So this is the Perth watercolour paper, 190 GSM. This is just the drawing paper, which is a lot thinner. Here's some of the stenciling. So I went with Art Nouveau kind of theme. So there's butterflies, nature, there's some spider webs, this is wood, there's different leaves and plants and things like that, and flowers. So this is a part of one of the pages which I've made smaller into a tag. This is another one of the pages which I've printed out smaller and have backed with that avocado paper. And this is some stenciling there. This is the tracing paper. Tracing paper there. More sketchbook paper. Stenciling, this is just one of those money envelopes which I've just inked around the front of. So each of the signatures has one of them, either this size or much, much smaller. Some spiderweb kind of stenciling there. This is the oil, what is it called? The canvas paper, the 290 GSM canvas paper. That one, it's quite a nice texture. This is the other stencil that I've used, and so I've used a pink and a blue. That's the Victorian Velvet, and the blue one I can't remember, sorry, the colour, but I can find out if you're curious. This is wallpaper, which is in the lining of my Charming Fragments #2 journal. So this is it uninked, so just how it comes straight off the roll. And it is meant to be a paintable paper. So you put it on your walls and then you can paint it. Part of a page, 2 of the tags, backed onto the avocado paper. And then we have some stenciling, which are common stencils all the way through. This is more of that Perth watercolour paper. Another key charm there. These are some Art Deco images. I found a book of 40 Art Deco images or posters at the Vinnie's, St Vincent de Paul, and I know they're different to Art Nouveau, but I just thought the colours, especially with the pinks and all that, went really well, so I've actually used them and sewn them in too. The other side of the wallpaper. Here we have a CD sleeve just clipped on, and I have just inked around the front and back of that, so that enables whoever uses this journal to put a piece of artwork in there or whatever they choose. And so the theme repeats basically as far as the page order and the things that I've used. It has quite a wedding theme to it, this kit as well, so I thought it actually would make quite a nice wedding, like a kit to use if you wanted to make a wedding journal. It's very pretty. These smaller images of the Art Deco ones are backed onto the Perth watercolour paper, so they can actually be watercoloured directly onto. These are actually, when you get the kit, these are considered book plates, but what I've actually done is blown them up to twice their size, so I've turned them into pockets all the way through this. The tracing paper, stenciling, another page, see, with love, lots of hearts, very pretty, and then you can see the spine reinforcement fabric there. Another piece of a page. And here's where I've done the tags in 2 different sizes. So gorgeous. And everything's been sewn around. No sewing anywhere else though. Beautiful kit page again. Could be lots of fussy cutting opportunities with those. Here is a little mini money envelope that I haven't done anything to, that's just plain. This is the canvas paper. Book plate with another page. And some of the pages you'll see like large and then smaller versions of. This is handmade paper, which has come from the United States. A friend of mine gave me some sheets of that, so I've used that in here. Another page. Stunning. Another key, so each of the signatures has a different key in the middle. This is just a piece of one of the pages, which I just decided to turn into like a little you know, over the page kind of thing. I was going to turn it into an envelope, but it's actually turned out to be quite thick. So I didn't want to push my luck trying to get it to fold into an envelope shape. Spiderweb stencil, handmade paper, another CD envelope. And I haven't permanently put them in. I just wanted the option for the person to decide what they wanted to do. A piece of a page, which I've done as a belly band. Art Deco image with the watercolour paper. Gorgeous. Another photo sleeve. So they've all got a photo sleeve, each of the signatures. So this glossy paper I actually got from our local tip shop, as we call it, but it's called the Rediscovery Centre. So what our tip where they, you know, some people donate things there or drop things off. And it was going to be difficult for me to print on, but I thought, well, if it dies, hallelujah. So I've pretty much got a whole ream of this, which is A3 sized. And I love it, and it stencils and does really well. This is another piece of a page, and I've got 3 tags here, and all of those are backed onto the avocado dyed paper. The glossy paper, which you can write on, draw on, all those sorts of things without a problem. We have tracing paper, drawing paper, another kit page, canvas paper, leaf stencil with a larger coin envelope, a sheet of wallpaper, a book plate with one of the pages made a bit smaller, another key. Just found a whole bunch of those at the Salvos. Another Art Deco image. This is a wallpaper fold out, and it's got the CD envelope clip to the top there. And these heart paper clips just came from Kmart. An Art Deco image, and then part of the page, you would have seen that one repeated a couple of times. Some wood grain stencil, and we have the photo page there. Gorgeous. It'd be so beautiful for a wedding album to be able to put, you know, the dates that you got, the date that you got married and things like that, if this was a cover or whatever you wanted to do. So I might do a wedding version of this one. Butterfly. I'm really enjoying stenciling. See, that is a perfect wedding cover for a wedding album. I think it's just beautiful. And the pink pages would be just great for guests to write their, you know, their thoughts on marriage or their advice or well wishes. So this is the Canson canvas paper 290 GSM for oil, acrylic and sketching. Another piece of a page with a tag. Butterfly stencil up there. Another piece of handmade paper. Just got grasses and fibres and all sorts in it. It's beautiful. Another piece of a page with 2 tags there. So these are bigger than they come in the kit. This key is really pretty. I didn't get too many of these, a heart-shaped one. Just lift it up for you to have a look at. Only got a couple of those, I think. So it's all stitched in with a 5-hole pamphlet stitch using that wax linen. Gorgeous page, handmade paper. I just would love to know where Fiona got these images from, because they just, clearly someone has painted them. I'm not sure if she's painted them or what, but they are beautiful. Another book plate coming up with another image as a journal card or for artwork. Photo mat, spider webs. Now the back page, so there's the fabric lining of the spine, again the scrapbook paper. So this is scrapbook paper again, love it, love it, love it. And then it's got a wallpaper pocket as well, so it's a double tiered pocket. And I've sewn in the middle but the back green pocket is full size, so you can put lots of things in there. It's not quite A4 size, so halved A4 paper, and then you've got a tuck here and a tuck here. So that was just the offcuts of the scrapbook paper I used, and this is some more dyed paper, not glossy, just standard paper there, so that slips in the back of that pocket there. And the back of the journal. So there we go. So I'm not sure what will happen with this one. If anyone loves it, please let me know. It'll be a beast to post because it's probably a couple of kilos, I reckon. But if not, I'll probably will end up sending it over to the States for consignment over there. Anyway, thanks again, and thank you, Fiona, for the opportunity to work with this kit. I absolutely loved it, and I can definitely see me doing a specific wedding themed journal with this one. And here's to January 2020. Thank you. Bye.